When it comes to the hundreds of people that you will meet in your life, there will always be that one person you can pinpoint and say that they usually make everything a competition, right? Monoma from Class B of My Hero Academia is that person. He's mostly known as the blonde guy from Class B, the annoying dude from Class B, that irritating stupid from Class B, and the list just kinda goes on. I've always been fascinated by Monoma, from his look, his manner, and even his quirk. He's very interesting to me, and honestly funny as well. From this video, I'm going to be giving my reasons on why Monoma is an interesting character. Now, I may have already said that I find him interesting for a number of reasons, but it seems that a majority of people that do know about him usually say that he's annoying, he's loud, makes everything a competition, is over the top, so on and so on. Though when hearing all of those remarks, it makes me think of another character from the series. You know, another blonde, loud teen with a rather explosive personality that also tries to make everything a competition, a little bit of an inferiority complex, and more or less sees themselves as the best. Yeah, Bakugo. I find it mind-boggling that Monoma and Bakugo share a lot in personality, but one is loved further beyond, and the other is hated pretty much. They're almost the same, but everyone just chooses one over the other. It kinda got a little too bad that Horikoshi even defended Monoma and said that he really didn't do anything wrong. Now, when it comes to all of this, there's also a reason on why Bakugo fought against Monoma during the cavalry battle, and a little bit of their rivalry there. Monoma is almost a former shell personified from Bakugo's attitude if he didn't mature and grow. Monoma is pretty much like Bakugo without the growth and maturity from all the problems Bakugo had to deal with throughout the series, being captured by villains multiple times, blaming himself for All Might's retirement, and the cherry on top, not passing the hero license exam as well. All of this would grow his character more as he comes to learn about everything. Monoma doesn't have any of that, at least to the level Bakugo does. He's being outshined by Bakugo in every possible way. He pretty much acts like him from the very beginning of the series. Back when Bakugo would tell his whole class with a smug on his face he would be the best, no doubt about it. This evolved into him doing the same thing at the sports festival, but without a smile. And then later within the series said, if all you ever do is look down on people, you won't be able to recognize your own weaknesses. He said this to a kid who had the same attitude he once had, and now more so recently, he's willing to accept help from others if it means to win. You know, back then when he would bitch slap Deku around saying, no, I don't need your help. Now, he's actually willing to work with a full team, and they're able to curb stomp anyone in their way. All of that character development caught Monoma by surprise to the point where he kinda started freaking out. Similar to how Bakugo started to lose it when Deku was actually improving with One for All, thinking that there's no way he should be this good, it's almost impossible. This continues the similarities the two have. However, one's matured and accepted it, the other is a walking shadow to that brilliance. Also, I know I would be stretching it with this point, but fun little fact, Bakugo is actually the oldest student in Class A. Monoma is the second in his. It really does seem that he can't be the best in, well, anything. He caught on to this as well, constantly being compared to the best that is Class A, the main characters. He knows he won't be the best, always living in the sidelines, being a copy, you could say.
Nato Monoma, his quirk, copy. He can use the quirks of whomever he touches, but only for 5 minutes. Plus, he can only borrow one at a time. So, even an idiot could figure it out.
From that, I'll segue into Monoma's quirk, since I don't want it to seem that I only like Monoma for being a great value version of one of the main characters. No, his quirk copy is a fascinating one, seeing that it's not just a power, but something that bounces off of Monoma's character and personality. Now, not all the time does he really want to show up Class A, not always, but there is one who kinda inspired him to act that way, that being his teacher, Vlad King. He likes playing bias and a bit of competition of trying to prove that his class is superior out of the two. When both classes were out training during the summer, he was the one who told his students, "We're gonna pull ahead of Class A no matter what. We're just gonna train till no one can stop us. We're gonna pull through. This is our time to shine. Class B, Class B, Class B." And seeing from this, Monoma really didn't have it in him for this time to try and, repeat what Vlad said. But seeing him later on here and there with his teacher, both act the same way. Monoma has copied a bit of his teacher's style to himself, though there's still more to Monoma and his quirk. There's also another reason on why, within the recent arc, Monoma really wanted to be buddy-buddy with Shinso. And that's because we slightly find out that he relates to Shinso. He too found out that when he was growing up and wanted to be a hero, most people just told him, "That quirk is more suited for a villain," or "Your quirk isn't all that great in reality. You can't do anything on your own." Monoma knows what it's like to be singled out, and was told that you won't do great things. He grew up finding out that, yes, his quirk copy isn't all that powerful as people make it out to be. Here are the pros and cons. Pros: you have someone else's quirk. You can use that quirk however you please. You can copy multiple quirks, and a bit of the side effect and a bit of a bonus is that quirks can linger. That's the side effect of it. So for example, if he copied, say, Todoroki's quirk and shot out some fire and ice, the ice block would still be there and the fire would still be there after his time is up. Cons: you can only use a quirk for 5 to 10 minutes, so a time limit. You can only use 4 to 5 quirks, quantity limit. He can only use one quirk at a time. He has to make physical contact to obtain them in the first place. He also gains the weaknesses of the quirks, every single one of them. He can't copy quirks that convert into power. For example, Momo's quirk, Tamaki's quirk, Fat Gum's quirk, Sato's, Midoriya's even, so One for All, and so on. And it is unknown if he can copy for mutant quirks, so those points pretty much combine into being that he can only copy just a certain number of specific quirks. And if he can't, that's what he labels them as a miss. So yeah, clearly the cons outweigh the pros, and seeing that when you're famous as a hero, your quirk gets known to the public, which means everyone knows about it, including villains. This is what makes Monoma's quirk pretty difficult to use efficiently, which is why he pretty much has to act like an asshole and provoke people as much as possible. They get angry and then say, punch him in the face. They're now in contact for him to copy their quirk, assuming they actually do get angry, assuming he can actually copy them in the first place, or if it's even suited for his body, or if he can even figure out how to use it within the dire situation. Monoma kinda has it rough. He came to terms with that because of his own quirk and the number of limits to it. He will never be able to hold a light to the big stars, shining brighter than ever, such as Bakugo and Midoriya and so on. He too wants to be a hero. But ironically, in and outside of the My Hero Academia universe, the public has already labeled him as someone who won't do great things and rather nefarious deeds instead. Traitorous ones, you could say. He has to embrace that, and he at least chooses to make it work for him. He even admits all of that, and will do those devious actions sometimes, all just so he could be a hero in some sort of way. By the end of it all, Monoma is just a teenage boy who was told, you can't be a hero, not even with the quirk you have. You're always compared to the ones who are the best, something you'll never be, no matter how hard he tries. People have marked him as someone who's over the top, loud at times, and probably evil. He accepts that, and still marches on to trying to be a hero. Everything said here is why Monoma is an interesting character. To his quirk, to his personality, to why he does the things that he does. That is what makes him a really interesting character. So, yeah, that's everything that I had to say for Monoma in this video. You know what to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have any questions, comments, or concerns, or any other discussion topics, try to answer them best I can. You know what to do with all the links that I provide. have fun going to all those social media sites and everything like that. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do.